The Dark Knight Rises. So we made it, ladies and gentlemen. It is the final installment of the Dark Knight trilogy. And here we have 8 years. It takes place 8 years after the events of the Dark Knight. The revolutionary Bane played by Tom Hardy, forces Bruce Wayne to resume his role as Batman to save Gotham City from nuclear destruction. Alright, so this movie is definitely based on, I'm getting a lot from, No Man's Land, especially towards the middle and the end of the movie. And here, it is what Christopher Nolan was hesitant about returning to the third film, but agreed after developing a story with his brother and David S. Goyer, and he felt that it would conclude the series on a satisfactory note. And we also have the character of Catwoman, played by Anne Hathaway, and this movie is just amazing. Like, I cannot, usually, the first movie is like amazing, and then like the second and third movie not so much, but like all of the movies in this trilogy, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, The Dark Knight Rises, each one of them is fucking amazing. I love all of them, all three of them, and because they did such a great job, and they didn't now there is just a few. Now, unlike The Dark Knight and Batman Begins, there's only like two issues I have. One is like a nitpick, one is an actual flaw. But that's it. That's it. Other than that, the rest of the movie is just amazing. And, it's ambitious. It's filled with just so much potential and so much, just energy, and I love it. I love the music, the musical score, the emotional depth. It felt very heavy. Like, this is it. Like, this is the end, and it is one amazing, satisfying conclusion to an epic trilogy. And thank you, Christopher Nolan, for making this, for creating, for directing and making this happen, because I just, it's amazing. So yeah. So Bruce Wayne, so in this movie, Bruce Wayne, Christian Bale, Batman, Bruce Wayne, um, he's a billionaire socialite who dedicates himself to protecting Gotham City from its criminal underworld. He's in, Christopher Nolan has stated that, during this time between The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises, Bruce Wayne, Christian Bale, he's gotten much older and he's not in a great state. He's like, the movie opens up and like he's like holding on to like a walking cane, like a walking stick. He's physically not well. He's physically not well. And then, Michael Caine, Alfred, oh my God. I feel so bad. I feel so sorry for Alfred Pennyworth, because he has stood by Bruce Wayne for all these years, for all this time. And now, Bruce Wayne died, or what? I mean, we don't actually see his body. Like, we don't actually see his body. Like he flew off to the sunset carrying the bomb. The bomb blew up in the distance, like in the horizon. I mean, maybe maybe Batman, Bruce Wayne ejected, parachuted out of the Batplane, the Batjet, off screen. I mean, who knows? That's a question. Like, that's a question that's a very, that's a hanging question. Like, is Batman alive, or is he dead? Is he truly dead? But whatever the case may be, like, and now, Gary Oldman as James Gordon, the commissioner of the Gotham City Police Department. He's like, his life has taken a turn for the worst. His wife has left him and taken their children, and the mayor's planning to dismiss him from his job. Gordon feels guilty over his role in covering up Harvey Dent's crimes and is prepared to resign from his position as commissioner over it, but then senses that Gotham is about to come under threat in the form of Bane, played by Tom Hardy. And yeah, Commissioner Gordon and Bruce Wayne and Batman, not just Bruce, not all three of them, they kind of feel guilt. They have so much guilt and sadness and remorse and all that over the death of Harvey Dent and what the Joker did, like after the events of the Dark Knight. And there's still there's so much pressure and so much of that left, and it's not gone. It's still there, and it's affecting both of the all of these characters, both Bruce Wayne and Batman and Commissioner Gordon. And then we have a new character, Anne Hathaway, who is playing Selina Kyle, aka Catwoman. Last time we saw Catwoman was Michelle Pfeiffer, and from Batman Returns, and now we're having another live action Catwoman, and she is a professional cat burglar and also a femme fatale who establishes she has this playful and teasing relationship. That's with Bruce Wayne and Batman, and also their other personas as Catwoman and Batman. And that's the one thing I love about the relationship, and it's very true to the comics, cartoons, video games, whatever, all of them. Catwoman and Batman, they have a playful and teasing relationship. That is the relationship that is most definitive, that I would most describe the connection. It's very playful and teasing. They're always teasing each other. They're always catching, and they know there's more to them. There's more to them. So yeah, there's more to them. Like there's like a bond, like kind of a romantic, little bit of a romantic, maybe something more. So yeah, and then we have the main villain of the movie, Tom Hardy as Bane, and who is this mysterious and physically imposing revolutionary villain who was excommunicated from the League of Shadows and portrays himself as a liberator of pain. He is desperate to continue Ra's al Ghul's legacy by destroying Gotham. And the character was chosen by Christopher Nolan because of his desire to see Batman tested on both physical and on a mental level. And also, holy shit, man. Holy shit. It was that Batbreaker. Like, one of the things about one of the things about Bane is breaking Batman's back. They did it. The Dark Knight Rises did it, and it was like when Batman and Bane face off, like they're facing against each other. They're fighting against each other. Like there's no music. No music is playing. It's just these two men are physically fighting each other while Catwoman and Bane's goons, their henchmen, all of them just watching the fight. And then Bane gets the upper hand and beats the shit out of Batman, breaks his back, breaks his mask, and then we go into the beginning of the third act, which is, it's Bane and, his, his army, from the League of Shadows versus the people of Gotham City, or the police of Gotham City. And it's and then they're all, it's Bane and his army versus Commissioner Gordon and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who we'll talk about later, and the police fighting against each other. Meanwhile, Bruce Wayne is physically broken, like his back is broken. He's in this pit. He's trying to get himself. He's trying to walk. He's trying to stand up. He's trying to walk. He's trying to get himself off the pit. And that music, like that chanting, like, oh, da, 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 you know what I'm, that. And it was, oh my God, it was amazing. It's amazing. Like, I love the score in Batman Begins. I didn't really notice it in The Dark Knight, but this one, it's amazing. I absolutely love the theme, the chanting of all those, prisoners, of all those people inside the pit, as Bruce Wayne tries to climb up, holding on, he has that rope attached to him. He's trying to get off, trying to get out of the pit and back to the city, and he finally does it. And it is amazing, and it is like, it's nerve-wracking. I was very nervous, like, oh my God, is he gonna make it, or is he gonna fall back down again? So yeah. It would be funny if he keeps falling back down into the pit over and over again, but eventually, he makes it out of there. But yeah, let's talk about Joseph Gordon-Levitt as John Blake, which at the end of the movie, when Bruce Wayne, Batman, dies, quote unquote, I mean, we don't actually see his body, so if we don't see a character's death, don't think that automatically means that person is dead. Unless we see a body, Batman is not dead. But anyway, after Batman's death, it is revealed that John Blake, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, who is a young police officer whose instincts lead him to believe that there is trouble on the horizon, and is promoted to detective by Gordon, when he sees something of himself within the young John Blake. And John Blake represents the idealism that Gordon and Bruce Wayne once held, but soon lost in their battle against the crime in the city. So it is revealed that his legal name is Robin. So Robin John Blake, which is an homage to Batman's sidekick in the comics, Robin, Batman and Robin. So I think it was just a nice little Easter egg. Like, Christopher Nolan gave us a nice little Easter egg. Oh, Robin, like oh, it's Robin. But I don't think that meant like. And then the movie ends with Robin, John Blake, going into discovering the Batcave, and then that's the end of the movie. I don't think that's meant. I don't think that's meant for like a sequel. I think Christopher Nolan, everyone who worked on this movie, is very clear that this is the end of the Dark Knight trilogy. Period. 100%. And that was just a little. It was not like a teaser for the next movie or anything like that. It's just a nice little homage, a nice little Easter egg for the fans. So don't think too much. So yeah, and then going back to Tom Hardy as Bane, Hardy actually based his Bane's voice on several influences, and Bane claims that his revolution's enemies are the rich and corrupt, and who he contends are oppressing the people. And then he wears the mask. I know a lot of people make fun of Batman's voice, Christian Bale, and also Bane's voice, Tom Hardy. But his portrayal of Bane is very iconic. It's very iconic, especially, oh my God, like, when he blew up that football stadium. I remember watching the trailer for the movie, when he blew up that football stadium and then blew up the bridges, I was like, this movie is going to be insane. It's going to be heavy and it's going to be insane. So, yeah. And then also, Marion Cotillard, as Miranda Tate, who is later reveals herself. She's a recently promoted member of the Wayne Enterprises executive board who encourages a still grieving Bruce to rejoin society and continues his father's philanthropic works. But she is also later to be revealed as the daughter of Ra's al Ghul and Bane's accomplice. So she reveals herself as the daughter, Talia al Ghul. Now, her reveal as Talia al Ghul, like her death, I mean, it definitely caught me off guard, but it didn't make me like the character of Talia al Ghul. I mean the whole reveal thing, I didn't really like it at all. I didn't really like, oh my god, I'm the daughter of Ra's al Ghul. It's just like, it's very, her reveal as the daughter of Ra's al Ghul, Talia, and especially her death, was received a lot of negativity from people, and I didn't really like it. I didn't really like the twist that she's the daughter of. It caught me off guard. The first time I saw the movie, it caught me off guard, but it didn't really like. It just nothing too big, too major, I guess. I know I didn't get like what I meant to say was that I didn't get, a bigger reaction to her reveal. But yeah. And then another thing I was like, okay, it was that, Bruce Wayne, he, like at the beginning of the movie, like Bruce Wayne, he has like, he's unable to walk. He has the walking stick. He has the cane. He's holding onto a cane. He's having trouble physically walking. And then he has this magical, like, this leg bracelet, that makes his spine, like, straighten. That straightens his spine and makes him, like, more better. I'm like, oh, okay. Magical Wayne, technology. But yeah, whatever. Whatever. So yeah, this is just one epic conclusion of an amazing, legendary trilogy, the Dark Knight trilogy. I had such a fun time reviewing all these movies. Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises. These movies are iconic. These movies are legendary, and it will never be forgotten. Thank you so much for everyone who worked on this trilogy. Christopher Nolan, the cast, Christian Bale, the crew members, everyone who worked so hard in making this trilogy. It will never be forgotten. It will go down in history. It will always be in all of our memories. So anyway, if you've seen The Dark Knight Rises, let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. Thank you so much for taking your time to listening to my review. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see all of you lovely people really soon.